Championships.
It really will be. Yeah.
So this the lineup for the men's lightweight fours. Denmark traditionally have the world's fastest time. They set that back in Lucerne in 1999. Those were the days of Eskil Ebbesen, who's back in the boat, in the stroke seat for lane number 5. And in those days, one of the men in the boat was a chap called Thomas Poulsen, who coached Mads Rasmussen and Rasmus Quist to victory in the previous race. But it is France on the far side. Now, France in lane 1 could be a real threat. This could be their victory of the afternoon here. And Great Britain, who were 3rd in Linz. The French were only 10th. I'm looking for a much better performance from the men who took gold in 2005 in Giffo and silver last year. The Netherlands, Arin Snijders in the bow seat there. He was single sculling in Linz. He's now into the crew. And now the world champions for China. Huang in the bow, Wu, Zhang and Tian in the stroke seat. And if they want to be aggressive, they will be aggressive. And then Denmark, well, Eskil Ebbesen, and they're working our way back. Morten Jørgensen, Mads Andersen and Bo Hellenberg, who was last a world champion, I think, in the men's lightweight pairs back in 2005. And then Poland in lane 6, Pavel Randa on the right there in the stroke seat, Milos Bernatis, and then Bartolomew Pavelchak and Lukasz Pawlowski. So, can Holland get a victory? They've had one victory already here, thanks to Marit van Eupen in the women's lightweight single sculls. We were expecting it in the men's fours. Can they do something in the lightweights?
Well, we talked it up in the men's fours and it did them no good at all. So perhaps we'd better...
So we're going to say they're no hopers, really, are we?
Well,
don't think so.
They are in lane 3 and they are one of the fastest qualifiers here.
Absolutely. So. Well, 5:49.63. Yeah. Nobody went quicker but the Dutch. So away we go.
That's Holland off sharply. I'd like to see how it's doing them.
Paul Drews in the stroke seat.
It's Denmark setting the pace off very, very rapidly there. They did this yesterday with China, and in the end China came through them. It's very aggressive, this Danish style at the moment. There is no relaxation at all anywhere in the race, and they're going to have to learn how to do a middle thousand in a slightly more like their old selves.
Well, 'twas ever thus that they went off like a rocket and just kept.
But when they settled into the middle thousand, it was still very effective stuff. They've now got a few feet on 2 or 3 crews which have the ability to cruise through that middle thousand and have energy left in the last 500.
Great Britain, boat number 2. On the far side, France in 1. The world champions China in lane 4. And then the Dutch just beginning to get their rhythm. And as you would expect in this men's lightweight 4, all pretty well together. Poland in lane 6, actually, on the known form. They always likely to find this the toughest task.
They were struggling to make the final at all yesterday, and they've drawn lane 6, so their chances, they're still on the premises after 500 metres, but the chances are relatively smaller. So at the moment it's lane 2. Great Britain have actually managed to pull out a few feet, rowing along very smoothly and sweetly, and they're the ones with the rhythm at the moment. This is Robin Williams' production. He came in as lightweight coach a year ago after leaving Cambridge University with its boat race cruise. After 7 years of boat race cruise, came into the lightweights, a lightweight oarsman himself, and has transformed the scene, putting together a lightweight double scull. We've just seen take a silver medal, and a lightweight 4 holding on to this race. But we've got China just winding up, just cranking up
Yeah,
for their middle 1,000 push. They're coming up to 1,000 meters, and China there in lane 4 taking the lead as we come up to 1,000. It's the three-man in that crew, Zhang Lin, who appears to me to be the lever, the crew maker in there. Everything the boat does, he has done to move it along. The others working off him as the source of inspiration.
Yeah, just to compliment that, though, Tian Yun, when you see a fate, there he is in the stroke seat there. If you want the face of aggression, Hugh, that's the man.
Yeah, the guy who's pulling is the one behind him. And anyway, they're out in front, so who cares who's pulling? They all are.
Yeah, but this was the crew of all the Chinese crews who were really up for this. If you remember the celebrations in Eton last year, they really did rejoice at what they did to their opponents.
And their second half is faster than the first half. They've entered the second half with a small lead. You can expect them to draw out. But what is happening there on the far side? Great Britain in lane 2 taking advantage of that marginal drift up that side of the course to hold on and drag with them the Netherlands in lane 3, and those three crews beginning now to separate themselves from the rest of the field.
Yeah, France in lane 1 just falling back now as we're in the third quarter of the race now, and it is China, Great Britain and Holland. Holland with Paul Trues in the stroke seat, and this crowd dearly would like to see this Dutch lightweight 4 move themselves up. The Danes at the moment, there seem to be a spent force, and all the concentration from the Chinese is to the crews to their right.
And it's interestingly, it is Great Britain back on. James Clark took a look across. He's the stroke man there, and he has driven them up. And in fact, it's Great Britain who are just in front of China as they go through 1,500 meters. China pulled a lot out yesterday to draw the Danes back and take that semi-final. They managed to get in front again, so that little push from Clark did its work, but it's been reversed by China, which is going to come through the last 400 meters in front.
So really they're bow for bow. Holland just falling back now, and the French trying to get back into this in lane 1, but at the moment to not much avail. So it is James Clark, Paul Maddock, James Lindsay Finn and Richard Chambers in the bow of that British lightweight 4. They are really shoulder to shoulder, bow to bow with the Chinese, and for the first time there is anxiety in that Chinese lightweight 4.
I think that they're wondering what they've got to do, because this 4 is moving incredibly smoothly. No hiccup at all. China back in front, are they? It's hard to say.
Yeah, the angle's
so as we go into the last 200 meters.
Angle very deceptive, and they're not quite in our view at the moment now, but it is China and Great Britain. France on the far side. Holland still on the premises there, vying with France in lane 1 for third place, but China now coming through to just about edge Great Britain now. It's been nip and tuck with the two of them, but the world champions have got the advantage, and they're going to take the victory and add to their success in Linz. Great Britain, who were third in Austria, are now second here in the Bosbahn, and Holland take over into third place ahead of the fast finishing French. Well, terrific effort there from the world champions, who've been given a really good work out there by the British, and another success for China, and Holland into third place ahead of France. Well, a good race, and still to come, the quadruple sculls and the eights. And as you just enjoy that, a chance to welcome into the commentary box, it's Georgina, who was wondering whether I would actually recognise her, but I've been given all the little trademarks up there. Georgina Swindell, have I said it correctly?
That is correct.
That's correct. Yes. Many thanks for taking time to come out.
Pleasure.
I think it's been a pretty good first World Cup. Let's talk about you and your sister. How do you feel about your performance today in the double sculls? First competitive outing here.
Yeah, and in fact, it's our goal for this regatta was to make the final. We haven't had the most ideal build-up. Caroline's had an injury, so we've spent 8 weeks out of the boat. We've had about 2 weeks back in, and so our goal for this regatta was to make the final, and as Richard said, anything after that will be a bonus. So yeah, we're not 100% at the moment, and China are a fast, very classy double, so we knew it was going to be hard. Yeah.